My relationship with my father. I miss him. I miss my family. But with my father, I always commended him for being such an amazing dad. My father grew up without a father. And because of that, he had to create his own blueprint for life. And that's why I commend him so much. My dad was always very reserved, a man of few words. So any instance that he would talk was like a miracle, and everybody would stop and listen. To preface, my father isn't dead, but I think about them a lot. My family. Moving to Austin has taken a bigger toll on me than I realized. There are feelings that have been festering for a long time that I've never really thought about, and then only recently has been hitting me very hard. I think when it came down to me missing like my mother's birthday, my dad's birthdays, my sister's birthdays, that's when I started kind of crumbling. Maybe not showing it, but I started crumbling in a way that I didn't know. See, I always spend all of my birthdays with my family, and we always took a picture. There was always a tres leches cake that my mom would make, and she would make the whole banner and everything. And I didn't get that for my last birthday because I was here in college. And more than that, I miss having the small talks that I'm able to have with my dad. And with that, I regret the instances where I would be able to speak to my father. The small instances where I'll be able to hear his wisdom or hear what he has to say. It didn't matter what the context or what the quality of the words were. It kind of was just, I wanted to hear something. You know, when you're a little kid, obviously you disobey your parents at times as you start growing up and you start having a mind of your own. Sometimes you get in a fit of anger and you don't know how to control it because you haven't lived much life yet. And sometimes you take it out on the people around you. And there are a lot of instances, especially when I went to my first confession, where I pleaded with God and I asked Him, please, I'm so sorry for ever disrespecting my parents, for ever doing any of this. During the COVID time, my dad suffered from a COVID pneumonia and was hospitalized. They had him on the oxygen, and honestly, seeing him like that, it kind of broke me. I looked at him and I saw how weak it was. And for a long majority of my life now, I come to the understanding that I will one day live a life without them. And that thought scares me because, as I mentioned before, my father is a man of few words. And this second sentence that I've said to you is that I miss him. And I don't say that enough. I don't see them enough. Maybe that's on me. I feel guilty at times. I feel guilty for not reaching out, for not seeing how they're doing, for not going on walks with them. I feel guilty. See, I always talk about what an amazing father my dad is, but I never had the opportunity, or I guess I never been kind of man enough to speak my words to him and let him know how I truly feel. And I remember this one instance when I was little, and I don't know what came in me, but in that instance, I just walked over and I hugged him as he was doing garden work. And in that moment, I feel the energy, the love. See, me and my father don't say I love you to each other, but I truly do love him. And I want to make a continuous effort to tell him how much I love him, to tell my family how much I love them, because they truly matter to me. You know, people have different experiences. You know, sometimes you might not, you might be blood related with people, but they truly resent you. They wish bad against you. But in my family, we're always taught that our blood will always be there for each other. I think Maybe that's a Hispanic mindset. I would even say more broader than that, an immigrant mindset, that the family kind of comes first. And the family means so much, and it does. When I was little, I was scared to even talk to girls at times because I would be anxious because I would truly wanted the people around me, my people in my family, to love the person that I love. And when I got into those relationships and the relationship that I'm currently in right now, they welcomed one with open arms. And they told me, son, I love you so much. And if this is who you choose to love, and I would treat them the way that I treat you. But the people that I love, I treat them with so much respect. I treat them with open arms. And I just want to return the favor. And I can't even count on my fingers how many times I've told my father that I loved him because I truly don't even remember. That's how long it's been. That's how long it's been without me reassuring him that as a son, that I'm there for him. And I feel so guilty for that. See, as I mentioned before, my father did not grow up with a father. So when I was growing up, my father did not teach me how to shave. He did not really show me how to be a man. But my father was such a good person. And that carefulness, the care that he put in to raising me and my sisters, those characteristics, those traits passed on to us, especially me. See, maybe I'm a little different from most people, and I didn't necessarily look up to my parents because I wanted more than what they had. And more than that, I wanted to help them. I wanted to make it out the mud. It's funny, but I mean that more in the sense of I didn't want to see my mom work. I didn't want to see my father work anymore. Every time I see them, they seem so tired. And I want it to stop. I hope it stops. So if I had the opportunity to speak to my father in person today, I would say, thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done for me, for our family, for my sisters. And I would let him know that when I speak to God, when I pray to God, that his name is always mentioned as I pray for his health and his safety. And although you grew up without a father, I hope I get the luxury to ask you for advice for when my time comes. And the last thing I would tell him is that I love him.